Today, I want to talk to those of you who are Facebook group owners, you have Facebook pages, and you're just a little frustrated that you don't get that much engagement on your post. I hear this all the time. Jonathan, I've got 1,000 people in my Facebook group, but when I post something, it only is shown to maybe 100 people. Why aren't my posts shown to more people? Well, if that's what you've been wondering, today we're going to break it down and demystify this process and also show you a strategy called the two-step Facebook post strategy that will skyrocket your engagement. And also you can use this to land more clients. Welcome everybody to our Market Your Message show. We're live right now in multiple locations, wherever you're watching from. We're watching here in a central dashboard, so we want to hear from you. Let us know your first name, where you're watching from, and so we can say hello. And if this is your first time catching the show live, just put the word new. So some of you might be on one of our Facebook groups. Some might be watching over on YouTube, or maybe you're watching over on LinkedIn. Go ahead and say hello. We're also going to be, after the short training on the two-step posting idea that you can literally walk away and do today. After we go through that training, I will be sticking around for a few minutes to answer your questions. So if you are looking to, you might be like, Jonathan, I've never seen you or heard from you before. What is it that you teach? Well, I am the author of a book. Let me grab it. I'm author of this book, Your Message Matters: How to Rise Above the Noise and Get Heard for What You Know. And I started my journey as a blogger way back in 2009, figured out through trial and error how to build an audience from scratch. And since 2011, I've been working full-time online. Now, I do and have done things related to writing books, creating courses, doing live events, running a membership site, running a high-ticket coaching program, and we teach you all that and more. So if you're a messenger, if you are a writer, a speaker, a trainer, a coach, then this is a place to hang out, because we love telling you how to take your message and build an audience around that. All right. Welcome to a few people here. We've got Rich hanging out over on YouTube. I see Phil is here as well from Richmond, Virginia. Welcome, each and every one of you. I see we got some people hanging out over on LinkedIn. Welcome, guys. Glad you're here. And of course, those of you over on Facebook as well. Facebook's been having a little bit of trouble with their scheduler actually making the event go live. So if you weren't able to find that, we did post a link in there to come hop over and watch us on YouTube. So welcome everybody. All right, so we're going to get right into it. I want to make this time valuable to you. So I've got this short training that's going to be a future podcast and YouTube video, but you get access to it first right now. And also I'll be sticking around. So if you got questions after today's show, the show's about 10 minutes long, not super long, very practical training today. And after you learn this technique and this strategy, if you've got more questions about how to apply it, here's what I want you to do. Put the letter Q, just a capital letter Q, in your question, and I'll answer your specific question, try to help you any way that I can. So stick around for the after show that's coming right after our training. With that, let's get started. Are you frustrated with the lack of engagement in your Facebook group? Are you feeling like I got to post 2 or 3 times a day just to make up for the fact that people aren't seeing my post, that Facebook's not showing it to people? So the answer is a two-step post. And that's what we'll be talking about in today's episode. Let's get started. Hey messengers, welcome to the Market Your Message show. I'm your host, Jonathan Milligan, and author of the book, Your Message Matters: How to Rise Above the Noise and Get Paid for What You Know. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about the power of a two-step post. So what is a two-step post and why is it effective? We're going to talk about what topics and formats work best for two-step posts. We're going to talk about how to convert your Facebook members into clients and customers using a Facebook post and much more. But before we get into all that, have you grabbed a copy of my latest book? If so, or if not, you can actually get it at yourmessagemattersbook.com, and I'll actually send you a free copy. Now, this book is available in bookstores, it's available on Amazon, retails for about $17. It's a 267-page book, but you can get it completely free. All you have to do is pay for the shipping and handling by going to yourmessagemattersbook.com. All right, let's talk about the power of a two-step post. Now, I first introduced this concept at our last annual live event, Your Message Matters Live, and I'm not the originator or creator of it. There's a lot of people who claim to be the originator of this marketing strategy, so I don't really know who to give full credit to, but I want to teach you the power of what a two-step post is. Now, for you podcast listeners, I'm going to be sharing my screen, but I'm going to do my best to explain exactly what I'm showing on my screen. But if you want to see this live in action, hop over to our YouTube channel. The link is actually in the show notes for the YouTube channel. All right, so let's jump into the screen. Let me explain to you what a two-step post is. It's called two steps because there are two steps. The first step is the actual post that you put in your Facebook group. And what you want to do is give them a keyword to comment below. Now, let me just back up a second and tell you why this is so important. The reason this is important is because Facebook does not show your post to all of your members. For example, let's say you have a 1,000 member Facebook group. And when you do a post, it says seen by 20. And you're like, I got 1,000 members. Like, they joined my group. They should see every post. I'm the admin. But that's not how Facebook works. It's Facebook's rules. We got to play by their rules. Now, what Facebook wants to do is they want to show the stuff that is the most relevant and interesting to people's newsfeed, because their newsfeed that they're scrolling through is already crowded. So they don't want to show every single post, just the more important post. Makes sense. That does make logical sense. So how does Facebook determine that? They determine that by comments and engagement on the post. So let's use this example. If you've got 1,000 people in your Facebook group and you were to make a post and it was seen by 20, and let's say 2 people like it, there's not much life to that post. It's not going to get shown to more members. But if we use the two-step strategy, this is where you're going to give something away for free if your members comment a certain keyword below the post. So now that you understand a little bit of that, let's actually see it in action. Again, I'll describe it to the podcast listeners. So I did a post in my Market Your Message community. And what's amazing is I did this post, the post I'm showing, I originally did this back in September of 2021. So it's almost a year old at the time of this recording, and it keeps showing back up at the top of the group and more group members see it, which is another huge bonus. But here's what the post says: how to schedule 12 months of social media in 5 minutes. I've got a super cool ninja trick to show you today. How would you learn how to schedule 12 months of social media posts in under 5 minutes? And then it has type social, and I'll send you a link to this training in Messenger. So guess what happens? People post in Messenger, right? They start posting they start posting below the post, and you'll be able to reach out to them in Messenger and give them a link to that training. Now, here's what I do with the training. I will take a training that is maybe something I did for one of my paid products, and I will upload it to YouTube as unlisted. So it's not able to be found in the search engine, but if somebody has the link, they can see the training. So what you can do is, if you don't have a paid training, you can just record a video of you actually doing a training for 10 or 15 minutes, upload it to YouTube, leave it unlisted, and now you can share that link on Messenger with anybody who comments below the post. Now, I will say, depending on the size of your group, this could be a lot. Like in my example, we've had over 226 comments on this one post. I'm not personally doing that. I've got team members that are helping me. But when you first are getting started, you might have a smaller group, a little bit more manageable. And so what you will do when they comment on the post is you will hover over their name where they commented and hit send message. And then you will comment in Messenger, hey, saw you commented social about my post about the social media training. Would you still like to get that? Yes. Great. And then you could carry on the conversation to see if they're potentially a coaching client that they might want to jump on the phone with you. That's a little bonus. Don't be pushy here, but be helpful and see, hey, let's go have a phone conversation and see if I can better help you with what you're trying to accomplish. And we've converted coaching clients using this method, but you don't have to go that far. You could just go, hey, here's the training. And I'm curious, what's your biggest challenge right now? And just hear what their biggest challenge is. It could be future content, future information that you could use. So let me actually show you a few more as well. So again, we did this post almost a year ago. We still continue to see it rise up to the top because new members comment on it and then it gets pushed back up to the top. Here's another example. It's how to make your first $1,000 in affiliate marketing. It was another video training that I did that I said comment with the word affiliate below to get this training. We've had over 103 comments on that one since we did that one about 9 or 10 months ago. I did one on, I recorded myself showing how I wrote my last book. And then I did a post in my Facebook group and said, how would you like behind the scenes look into how I actually wrote my last book? Type book below to get the training. I had over 283 comments on that one. And another pro tip is if you're like, Jonathan, this feels like it's going to be overwhelming to me to keep track. As the Facebook group owner, you have access to what's called moderation alerts. Now, Facebook gives you this so that if you want to eliminate people who have foul language or you want to eliminate political rants in your Facebook group, you can set up keywords to get notified when those words show up in your Facebook group. But guess what? We use moderation alerts for our post. So that way we get notified when somebody comments social or roadmap or affiliate. And it reminds us to make sure we reach out to them. So that's just a little pro tip. So there you go. That's the overview. And here's the thing. When I first started this strategy, I told my team, we're going to do one of these a week. So after a year, we got 52 of these rolling. Here's the truth. Once we got to around 4 or 5, they just kept working. It just kept matching and meeting the requirements for Facebook's algorithm to show it to more and more people in the Facebook group. And then as new people come in your group and somebody comments and then it pops up to the top of your group feed, new people start seeing old training that's still good and people keep commenting. And we have continued to see, even after 11 months after doing that one Facebook post, new people are commenting to get the training. So again, use this strategy to increase engagement and awareness of you and your training. Now, you don't have to use video. You could give away a PDF, a worksheet, a template, graphic templates from Canva. You could do almost anything, an Excel spreadsheet. But the key is to do it step 1, here's what I got. Comment below if you want it. Step 2, hop over into Messenger, give them the training, engage in a conversation. If you want to see if they might be a coaching client, then you could say, hey, I know you got a lot of questions and I've got some ideas for you. Let's hop on a quick phone call. And then in that phone call, you could let them know, I do have some spots open in my coaching program, if that's something you want to learn more about and get into that. So there you have it. That is how you use a 2-step post to increase engagement. Here's what I wanted you to do. If you have a Facebook group right now and you're a little bit discouraged about the low engagement, go try a 2-step post. If you like these ideas, I share many more in my latest book, Your Message Matters. You can get a free copy as a listener of the show by going to yourmessagemattersbook.com. That's it for this episode. What would you like for me to cover on future episodes? Let me know. And also take a moment and like, share, subscribe, or even review our show. And until next time, never forget, your message matters. All right. That was just a recording that I did ahead of time just for you guys. It's going to be a future podcast and YouTube video. But what do you think? What do you think about the two-step post strategy? Have you heard of this? Is this new for you? Are you still trying to get your mind around it? Then now is the time. Ask your question. Go ahead right now, put in the letter Q. It could be about today's topic or something unrelated. It also could be about something that you're personally working on. I'm going to stick around for just a few minutes if we do have any questions to answer. And if not, we will wrap up this week's show. So go ahead. Don't be shy. Put a capital letter Q in your question. Again, we are broadcasting this in multiple locations online. So depending on where you're watching from, everything comes into a central location here. I know we've got people watching over on Facebook. We got some on YouTube, some on LinkedIn, and even over on Twitter. So go ahead real quick and either put your question, or if you say, Jonathan, I don't have a question today, but I did have a takeaway. I would love to hear your takeaway as well. And if you're watching the replay, because I know a lot of people do catch the replays on these, you're not always able to show up live, you can go ahead and participate as well. Go ahead, ask a question. We can come back and answer it for you later, or give us a takeaway. Put a capital letter T and your takeaway. So the most important thing to remember is you've got to be encouraged. This is what I want you to get, okay? Be encouraged that if you post something in a Facebook group and you're kind of getting low engagement, it's not your fault. Facebook has dialed back what they show. That's the most important thing to remember here. Okay, so if you've got 1,000 people in a Facebook group, you would think that when you post it, it's going to show it to all 1,000 people, because after all, they joined your group because they wanted to be a part of your group, right? But Facebook does not show it to every member of your Facebook group. So just because you're not getting engagement doesn't mean that that post isn't a good post. What Facebook is doing, just to kind of clarify here, is they're showing it to a small percentage. And the reason they're doing that is because the Facebook news feed, if you're on Facebook and you're scrolling through your own news feed, that's becoming more and more crowded. It's becoming more and more crowded. It's also where Facebook earns their money, by putting ads in front of you, right? That's how Facebook's making money. They're monetizing your attention. And so they want the news feed to be the cream of the crop. They want it to be the best stuff. And the way that they determine that are likes and shares and comments. And then they're like, oh, maybe we should show this to more people. I always use this example, but this is why you never miss a wedding announcement. You never miss an engagement. You never miss a graduation. You don't miss most birthdays on your news feed. You don't miss a death in the family kind of a post. Why? Because people naturally engage on those. And as they engage, Facebook says, show it to more people, show it to more people, show it to more people. So the way that we tap into this, again, is this two-step post strategy. If you're still confused, I would say go back and watch this again. It's here for you to watch again to really get your mind around it. But what you have to do is you have to create a post that's going to give something free and valuable that people would actually pay for, and say, in order to get it, I want you to comment this keyword below. And as they comment, like book, say, type in book below if you want to get the training on how I wrote my latest book. And then people put book, 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 book. And then you comment back on those. Hey, just sent you the details in Messenger. Just sent you the details in Messenger. And as you do, that engagement increases to the point where Facebook's going to say, okay, out of 100 people, 20% engaged on this. Let's show it to 100 more in the group. Let's show it to 100 more after that. And it just keeps growing. That is how this works. Rich says, I really need to use this. Yeah, experiment with it. Experiment with it. Think about it could be a video training, Rich, that you've done before. It could be a PDF lead magnet that you want to give to somebody. It could be a worksheet. It could be anything. As long as you're able to deliver it to them via a link in Messenger, anything goes. It could be something sitting on your Google Drive. that is a valuable document people might want. So experiment with this. I mean, what do you got to lose? And see if this helps. Phil says, this is on my future to-do list. Engagement is the takeaway. Yes, that's the big takeaway here is we've got to learn what Facebook values, and then we've got to create systems around that. And so, again, Facebook wants engagement. So we've got to do things that create engagement in our Facebook groups in order to show it to more people. All right, that is it for this episode. Thank you guys for being here. I hope this was truly helpful to you. And my encouragement would be, if you're watching this or you're watching the replay or you're watching live with me, go try it out. Why not? Try it out. Determine, hey, within a week from now, I'm going to go try this strategy out. By the way, it not only works in Facebook groups, it can work on Facebook profile. You could use this on your own personal profile if you don't have an audience. And what that would do is that would help you to know who is it that are my Facebook friends that are actually interested in my topic. So for example, if I'm a book author, here's an idea is if I'm a book author, which I am, I could go to my Facebook personal profile and say, hey, I know many of you heard that I launched this book in the last year. And I always get asked all the time, how did you actually write this book? What software did you use? What was your book proposal like? How did you get a traditional book deal? Well, I decided I'm going to give you access to a training that I did. All I want you to do is comment proposal below. And then everybody who comments proposal, 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 and I might even try this strategy because I'm liking it as I'm talking about it. As that happens, I become aware of who in my friends group, people in my personal Facebook profile are actually interested in maybe writing a book. That's super valuable information to know, right? Now, there's a step further I don't have time to go into, but Facebook actually allows you to create kind of friend list. I don't think they call that anymore, but you can actually create like a custom list of your friends into a smaller group. And you could add all of those people who commented as aspiring writers. And here's the cool thing. I could do a post on my, let's say I do that and I get 100 people from my Facebook friends that say, hey, I'm interested in writing a book. I could put them on a custom list called aspiring writers in my friends profile. And I could do a future post to just that group. So I don't have to do it to my whole personal profile. I could choose, send this just to people on my aspiring writers list and say, hey, I am running a workshop this next week on how to write a book or how to get become a published author. Here's a link to join me in the workshop. And boom, there you go. So that's how you can call out people in your friends group. Now, that is probably should be a future episode that we'll probably do now because that may have made sense or it may not have. We'll show you how to do that. All right. Again, thank you everybody for watching. Some of you watching on YouTube, some Facebook, some Twitter, some LinkedIn. Thank you guys for being here and tuning in. And remember, put it on the calendar every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We go live and share with you the latest tips, tools, and strategies to help you as a messenger get your message out. All right. Take care, everybody. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.